I did not really film an intro or an outro for the meatloaf video per se. Hopefully my recipe videos are going to get better over time. So just bear with me here. That is roughly a pound of cow in a bowl. 1 egg. 1 packet of onion soup mix. It should look like this. Well, this is gonna take a lot of editing because I keep hitting the stop button instead of the pause button. I did it again. Approximately 4 slices worth of any bread. Any bread works for this recipe because you are going to wet the bread. Now we're going to mix this glorious mess together. Actually, wait, no, there's one more ingredient. Just a little ketchup. Okay, one of the most important parts of this recipe is just making sure that you mix everything really, really well. I am using clean hands here and just going in and like really getting that bread mixed in. One of the greatest things about this recipe is that you can use breadcrumbs, you can use hot dog buns, hamburger buns, the stale sandwich bread because your family decided they were too good for sandwiches. You know, pretty much any kind of bread that you want. Just if you're using sliced, loafed, any kind of baked bread, pre-baked bread, not breadcrumbs, you're going to want to wet it first. Okay, because I'm being a good feral housespouse today, I actually prepped this ahead of time, and I'm going to put it in the fridge until hubby gets home to cook it. But what you're going to want to do is... what is on my shirt? Okay, what you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350-ish. And my ADHD ass has no concept of time, but you're going to cover it in a thin layer of ketchup and pop it into the oven until your meat pokey stick says it's well done beef. I won't be here for the cooking, but I will include some footage of what it looks like cooked. Yeah, wardrobe change and jump scare. Okay, the meatloaf is about to come out of the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm making some potatoes. I'm literally using the microwave to boil 2 cups of water. That is the microwave for anybody who's not on brain rot. So yeah, this was originally my grandmother's meatloaf recipe that she got off of like an onion soup box or something or other decades and decades ago. And then my mother adapted it. Thanks, Mom. Say hi, Mom. Anyway, yeah. It's fairly easy, it's fairly cheap, and it will feed a lot of people with 1 pound of ground beef. So this is roughly what your depressed meatloaf should look like when it first comes out of the oven. Personally, sometimes I like to leave it in a little longer just to let the ketchup glaze kind of brown some. But this is fine, it's gonna set for a minute, and then dinner's done. Also, I forgot to show myself seasoning that meatloaf with anything besides like onion soup and ketchup. Usually the onion soup has enough salt that you don't need to add any. But that's also like personal preference because I grew up partially raised by grandparents and living with people who don't really use a lot of salt or seasoning. And then my mom's side of the family for the past 30 years has been catering to a family member of ours that couldn't have a lot of salt. So I'm just used to eating a lot of things with lower salt than maybe a lot of normal people are.